everyone. Good morning. I'm joined by my colleague Barney Lederer, and we're going to be sharing some of our experience, observations about this, how the collaborative technologies that with all the transformational technologies that's happening today, and our observations and experience. And with that, there are few things that cyber security. This is one of the major issues that we all been dealing with. There's 1 out of 10 URLs are malicious, and they are we have over 7.5 billion people interconnected. So think about the IoT devices all causing that things is only going to grow, and also the ransomware attack. It used to be about $4 million cost per incident. Now it's over $7 million. So these are some of the issues we are facing today, and how we can be secure and resilient. We'll be sharing some of that technologies that we all, depending on what's your background and experience, but we'll go very much high level. Some of the issues that we've been seeing that is, so what is the collaborative modernization of the technologies, how you can secure your data, how you can really protect yourself proactively, with just by using the storage technologies, implementing number of technologies, whether it's this storage, whether it's like cloud technologies, and just protecting your data. That's also became very critical today. How you just simply implement your MFA, multi-factor authentication. That's also very simply. You can, thankfully, we have that MFA with that thing. So we'll go over some of the processes that we've been using it, and today with other different counties and municipalities and cities. We've been in business over 22 years, and mostly working between commercial as well as in the SLEDs sector. So over 7 counties our client today in the state, a number of villages and cities as well. That's very real, and how we can take advantage of it. But it's all database driven, so how we can strike the balance, and that's also we have to share some experience, and as well as we mentioned about the improving service delivery. There is a survey from our experience that you can reduce your cost by implementing the RPA. RPA is becoming very important applications for instance, robotic process, automation with this data entry, simply data entry. There are so many companies, mostly in the near shore and even offshore. They've been working with the robotic process automation, and it's a big really practice in the industry. So that's also what I'd like to bring that to your attention. And also we mentioned about cloud computing. Migrating to cybersecurity. Barney, why don't you take over this?
Sure. So cybersecurity strategy and policies, building a comprehensive strategy and policy. I've been with the federal government for about 25 years. The last 15 years I've been deputy cybersecurity director for a couple of different federal agencies. And I decided to get in the private space now because I was done doing government work. One of the things that I found outside of the federal government is a lot of companies really believe that they're secure, right? They've had the same IT guy for about 15 years, and he's built this little castle, right? And they got a moat around it. Nobody can get in because I've locked everybody out because everything's on-prem, everything's secured my doorway. And it's not, right? They're letting people stick thumb drives in that they're buying off eBay. Now they're looking at Microsoft 365 going to the cloud, and there's no security governance policies in place. So one of the things that's really important that we talk about, we work with a lot of counties and townships, is actually putting those strategies in place, the processes, the actual documentation and the agreed upon processes with all the people before you actually start doing those migrations out. Secure endpoints, multi-factor authentication, encryption software, encrypted. MFA, I started working with identity management years ago. So everybody sees smart card, they do logical cards, right? You swipe on the door. That's physical access. You have cards that give you logical access to your computers, and then you have the fobs, right? The tokens, or you try to log into something that sends your cell phone the code to get in. So those are all
from the technology point of view as well from the ethical point of view. Now with the ChatGPT, where do we really strike a balance? I was a keynote speaker at Vatican about the future works. I have few charts on that as well. So it's really, and also spoke and engaged with the European Parliament is really what we, from the ethical point of view, how we really come up with compliance and guidance, how you can send life-saving medications, you can with the AI and robotic engineering or drones, or you can kill someone in the middle of a dinner. So that's also from the technology and the applications, and those are very important with that. And this, so predictive analytics, now we have all kind of data. Data is really the dollars and cents. You can just put the data dollars and cents. The more you can really streamline your data, the more powerful you can be, whether it's your small village or even town or the counties. With this, think about, there are a number of motor vehicle department, they have been using the data, collecting data and streamlining and come up with the applications. We implemented over 1 million meters in New York City for one of the regulated company, and now collected data and also now gave a portal access to our customers, and so they have access and they're doing using their portal, and that's all happening because of the data manipulations and using different tools to do that. Chatbots, and that is become very big, from Google to Microsoft to other major companies. They came up with this very important application that is just even with the open AI application. I'm sure everybody has their own experience with the open AI, how powerful and robust that is. So that's also happening. The fraud detections as well, that's also being applied with the artificial intelligence tools and today, as well as the ChatGPT, OpenAI, chat, and I think the Microsoft came up with new things, BART, and Google. So these are all applications that is we are adopting AI tools, and for local counties, we did implemented something during pandemic period, and this with this. So AI into it. We also recently deployed like a EMR, electronic medical record solutions with analytics in it. So there are many applications with this data and AI in it. So that's what I wanted to share with you guys. This is something that we have number of counties working with some of the industry standard ISO. You can see that in number of smart city 1, 2, there's entire transformations happening. Not too much in the States, but there are a lot of things happening in European countries because they're injecting the sustainable development goal. There are 17 of them, so they're injecting with the smart city transformation. And there's an ISO for every smart city category, and whether it's the application strategy, data strategy, IT operations strategy, skill development, and ISO different benchmarks. So we are UTC associates. We've been working with a number of counties, not formalized yet, but this is something that is very good to start thinking about. You guys who are in the county level, or you are commissioners, directors, I think this is a very good way to implement that methodology. That is a 26 billion connect devices. There's most important is that by 2025, 3.5 million cyber security positions will remain unfilled, and is only increasing. So it's whether you are in running a small village or county operation or things, this is the reality. We just need to, as Barney mentioned, is from the education to really process and policies, procedures, implementation. This is very important so you need to have that kind of manpower because it doesn't matter. There is no budget. You can really hack it and something. So this is the reality, and we need to think about it. So it's a thought, triggering thought process, because this is very, we need to pay attention and come up with the policies and procedures. As Barney says, even training and creating awareness is a big things, and because it's coming, 80% of the issues really coming from the phishing link, right? The URLs is coming is very authentic. It's coming from your son or daughter or something, but it is, if you quickly look at that and this deep into it, you see that it's not really, it's a phishing tools, phishing software, email.
Say something really quick there.
Yes, please.
So when we're talking about the cybersecurity piece, everybody automatically starts thinking of dollar signs, right? And it's not necessarily always about dollar signs. There are things that you can do internally besides the training that are built right into the operating systems and the things that people work on your IT department, whether it's one person, which sometimes is what it is, or 20 people. Who here has ever gotten something in the mail from Home Depot, JP Morgan, anything that said, by the way, we had a security breach, here's your free 1-year credit check, so you can go in, log in, register, we're gonna pay for it for you because we got hacked. These are big companies that are putting out hundreds of millions of dollars to keep their data secure. So when you look at that, it kind of puts everything in perspective when everybody thinks that we're good.
Just the logical things, it's a physical also happening because it's there are intruders coming, especially in the energy sector. They're taking that precaution. That is, there are complaints from the federal side also. There are many complaints. They are coming and they're just introducing some kind of physical, having the back-end server. So we need to be very strict in going to the data room and who can go. There's access level and everything that's in place because of this happening. There happened few incidents that's in the federal sector. So we need to have both physical and logical resiliency with the digital transformation that's happening, as well as the maximum cybersecurity is an imperative to prepare for our sustainable digital future. So digital future is everything. It's from the everything is IP, everything internet protocol, everything is all the pushing the applications at the edge. So that means an IoT, Internet of Things. You just think about your car, your refrigerators, wherever you go, it's all connecting to the internet. So that means it's really we need to come up with these. We are more susceptible to these to the threats, whether it's logical or physical threats. So we need to come up with policies. That thing. This is what I mentioned earlier. Kids in Central Primary School today will end up with jobs that don't yet exist. Think about that. So this is the reality. And even myself, I was the lead architect for AT&T 21st Century Network. So all the technology that happened, even blockchain, distributed computing, that happened in 90s and early 2000s. And the technology, especially infrastructure technology, telecom, on PBXs and all the DACs and everything, what if you have some idea on what is gone from the face of the earth, and it's a matter of not even 2 decades. So, but now it's with all the technology, all the pushing the applications at the edge, and new technology, that AI and machine language is really interval is I don't even know what's going to happen 2 years from now. So that's what is because now how do we really make our workforce very relevant? That is very important. That is very critical. So it's whether you are in the state or local government, or you working today for this project, that project. No, we all have to skill up, raise skills, and think about that. This is even to go to call Uber. You need to understand how to even download that thing. So. And also, these are another very important stats is by 2025, no less than 54% of all employees will require significant re- and upskills. So you understand what we all need to do. So 2020, and we see that. I don't think we need even 2020. It's happening now. It's 2023. So that is also, that's what we meant to say. Presented at Vatican in 2019, His Holiness was there, a number of others. So you see that this is, we are addressing the future of work. So future of work is not just technology, the fourth industrial revolutions in terms of machine language, robotics, and drones and things, but future of work is also relevance. So relevance is some people they have, they're really, as you mentioned that we have, there are over 3 billion people that don't have a clean water, surface water. They're really the food crisis. And also over in the global south, if you think about that, because the Vatican, they are thinking the entire world. So over 3 billion people, they don't have the right skill set. They don't have the even primary clothes and food and things. So His Holiness, he would like to got us thinking. They invited us for 3 days. He said, let's have a brainstorming. How do you? That's what it's a common good in the digital age. So that is how technology can be in the fit in the purpose in the common good. So that's what. So technologists, theologists, Nobel laureate, all were gathered in there, over 150 people. So I made the presentation of future works because of the technology transformation and some of the background that we had, right? And they need over 50,000 workers, and how do we find that worker? So it's really all has to be STEM related people. And this future works human-computer dependent workforce, right? We mentioned Uber, Airbnb, these are all interaction, human platform dependent. And these resolutions barriers for the future workforce. So job loss to robots, and we mentioned the predictive analytics and the globalization dynamics and others. So we implement a small software in how do you capture rainwater and make it distribute to masses. So even rainwater is so relevant for that for that part of the world, and with different kind of expectation. But I would like to trigger your thought process that it's not me, it's us, and how we can really uplift our future generations, youths, and come up with the world is so flat, so interconnected, we need to really get ready for that workforce. So that's also one of the things I would like to share with you. Is awareness training, technical training, culture training. So technically, Bernie mentioned that cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, DevOps, cloud, these are all transformed technologies. So some of the things that about UTC, that what the company that we have leading for about 20 years, 22 years today, you see that we have decades of experience in federal, state, and local government, all major certifications. So we have GSA, minority certified vendor as well for a number of jurisdictions, and we do strategy, transformation, implementation, staff augmentation, and these are some of the continuous skill workforce development. That's part of that we do also. These are some of the company information in terms of what we do. We have the DevOps. We have hundreds of engineers doing the DevOps development. So that's also part of their practice, and cloud, cybersecurity, and strategy, as well as managed services. Ethics and compliance, cloud transformation, and generic IT consulting, staff augmentation, because we have a GSS schedule, so it can be very easy, and managed services that also Barney mentioned, is like not SOC type of services. And unified communications, that's what you have. Unified communications is really, we've been providing unified communication services, the telephony services. So in the telephony, there's a lot of still, you'll be surprised to see that they're still getting services on the TDM related things, trunking, and there are tremendous savings can be done with the unified communications approach. So we've been doing that as well. In this slide, this is cybersecurity, business continuity, disaster recovery. This is a methodology. So our company is a very solutions-based technology company. So we have practice and we have methodology. So we just go there, understand the bigger pictures, and come up with the recommendations. This is what we should be doing. So this is what the process is. And we maintain the NIST framework, especially in the cybersecurity space, and ransomware. These are all standard recommended things. Best practice, ransomware, cloud onboarding, again, methodologies. We just don't go there and saying that, hey, you need to convert to lift and shift. We just want to understand your storage policies and what you have today, and how that can be cost effectively, time effectively can do that. Not everything you need to really bring into the cloud. There is some sensitivity, and also we can provided that kind of discussion recommendations and come up with that as well. Some of the case studies we did, IT assessment, overall IT strategy. We work in collaborative effort with the state policy and federal cybersecurity policy as well. So that's what we've been doing that. And so these are some of the case studies that you can see. It is DevOps solutions. This is again agile development. Agility is, from the is really how the process is very important. It's what you need, and especially that's the DevOps and implemented. Many services we mentioned to do that, cloud, data center, and the different platform infrastructure we mentioned, remote office services, service desks, and we have a number of vendors within the ecosystem. With that, we would like to entertain any questions you may have, and we have about 15 minutes. Yeah.
Anything in the cloud that potentially, you can't control. Once you type it in there, it's somebody else's at that point. So, have you seen any of your customers? How are they kind of dealing with something? Even like Grammarly, for example. There's even folks that won't.
Listen, I think we need to have some kind of digital regulations in that area, because this is just the beginning. But we should not be shy away from using. We should be really embracing. That's my, again, personal experience.
How are you overcoming local government, cybersecurity? You hear it means dollar signs, right? We don't have an endless pot of money that we can spend. So when you're talking about doing risk assessment, you're talking about doing pen testing, all of these things add up over time. And we're competing based on the insurance cost, health insurance cost, roads that need to be plowed. We have very limited budget. In this state, they have a 3% cap where you can't raise a budget more than 3%. So what advice do you have to us as IT professionals to go back to our elected officials and trying to get them to understand the importance of it, and what happens when it comes down to this road's not going to get paved if we're going to spend this, because they know the roads are what the residents see, right? They don't see the behind the scenes stuff. So we fight these challenges constantly to get funding to do what we need to do. And to be honest, every time we look at something cybersecurity, it's dollar signs. It's a lot of funding. It's not a small amount of funding.
Yeah, no, good question. That's the very everybody's question, honestly. And that's the side in the thing that you cannot just put a dollars and cents. And one of the county, I don't want to mention that, again, the IT commissioner requested us to go in front of legislature and explain why it's so important that the X dollar right now, why they need to make it twice X, the budget that you mentioned, because this is the things you cannot control. This is really, I know you have a $100,000 budget, but all the things that you need, risk assessment, policies and procedures, and then pen testing, vulnerability testing, everything, it just by that time you already wiped out that $100,000. Now what? So this is the reality that we all need to face. We need to educate ourselves, the policymakers, elected officials, the other officials, and there is no one or zero answer really. This is really need to address it, because they're not going to differentiate you from smaller counties or small counties or small budget, because hackers, they just wanted to really hack and ransom you. So that's
it is
cost effective, the insurance and everything. There are some solutions that quickly we can address that.
There you go. With the nicer weather, you can sit outside. You can sit outside and read. I got one more.
Right, one more. Okay, reshuffle inside. So.
565. There you go.
All right.
Tumblr. Just you don't get a burden, baby. Appreciate it.